Hi there, my name is Alyssa, and this is a story about when my life got turned upside down. It all started when our neighbour and my mother's best friend Betty stopped by our house one morning. She had a brainstorm of an idea. She had convinced my mum that they should do a neighbourhood spring cleaning sale, and so my mum thought this was an awesome idea and decided to do some spring cleaning. She asked me to help her with this project and told me she wanted to completely clear out the entire barn in our back property. However, I wanted no part of anything that had the word work involved. We had a small argument about it, and I told her that I already have plans to stay at my friend Tiffany's this weekend to complete a summer project for back to school. She was very upset with me. I could tell by the way she stomped her foot and huffed at me and said, whatever. I thought to myself, phew, quick thinking, summer school project. What a joke. It didn't matter to me. I was off to Tiff's for the weekend. When the weekend was over and I returned home, it was really strange. As I pulled into the driveway, our barn looked strange to me. It stood out more than I remembered. Then, as I walked closer, I realized I could see the other side of the backyard through the windows and that the sun was completely shining through. Now, I can't imagine how many truckloads or who she bribed to help her with this ludicrous idea that Betty got her into. But our gigantic barn, that's just about the size of most people's small houses, was now empty. I went inside the house, saw my mum having coffee with Betty. I said, "Hi Mum, good morning. How was your weekend? How did your sale go?" She replied, "It was amazing. I made over a few $1,000s. I asked her, "How on earth did you get everything out of the barn? Who went through all the stuff?" She said, "Oh, that was easy since we didn't have any help. We told everyone that it was a blind barn auction, so everyone bid on a box without seeing inside. As we auctioned off the boxes, when they won a box, they took it. Really easy. That's why they call it a blind auction." So I said, "Wow, that's insane. But hey, glad you made out like a bandit, Mum." Well, as it turns out, my mother's blind auction turned out to be my biggest nightmare. When school started that September, my friend Tiffany came running out of the front doors at me, trying to stop me from going into the school. As I entered, I was never so humiliated in all my life. Someone had bought one of the boxes my mum auctioned, and all of my bald childhood baby pics were posted all over the hallways. I guess the joke was sure on me for not helping my mother that weekend. What's your story? True Tales wants to hear it. If you also have any such moment, you can share it in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked my story. Subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos, and press the bell icon for more updates.
Hi everyone, my name is Sally and I'm 17 years old. I've been through such a ridiculous situation. Let me tell you about it. I attended the most reputed university, and my mum recently joined the same university and teaches literature. Dave and I are students of literature and attend my mum's lecture regularly. We've both been dating for the past 5 months, but we didn't let her know about our date. My mum was 40 years old, but unlike other professors, she was quite young looking, beautiful and hot in figure. After a month my mum joined, the university organised the annual event for which all the professors were asked to perform some or the other act. So my mum had decided to play the keyboard. Dave was very popular for playing the piano, and my mum knew about it. She knew that he is my BFF, so she called up Dave at home for teaching her piano. It didn't bother me much, as I was happy that I would get some more time to spend with Dave. Next day, Dave came home in the evening. Mum joined him in learning piano and sat beside him. That moment, Dave asked me to leave while teaching piano. He wants space. I was so annoyed, but looking at Mum, I just left quietly. This continued every day. Dave used to come and teach Mum in my absence. Now it started bothering me as being at home, he was not giving me much attention. The day before the annual event, piano classes were going on and I was passing through the room, where I saw Dave holding my mother's hand saying, "You look younger than your daughter. I'm fond of you." I pinched myself, wondering if it's a nightmare, but it wasn't. I started losing my temper on Dave, but more than him, on my mum. Dave was 20 years younger than her. I started feeling ashamed of my mum. I wanted to go and ask, but I was hesitant and just let it go. Next day at the university, all day Dave tried talking to me, but I refused to talk. After the event, he came and asked about the problem. I told him that I saw him flirting with my mum. Dave panicked, but smartly lied, telling me that my mum forced him to date her, else she will give him less grade in literature. Really? That doesn't sound weird? I started feeling more ashamed of my mother. That moment, my mum was announced as the best performer of the event, so she called Dave to the stage. Of course, credit goes to his teaching. On stage, my mum confessed, saying that there was a reason behind performing as a pianist. She wanted to know about Dave and his character. She knew that I was dating him, and from somewhere, she came to know about this. She said she dated Dave, my boyfriend, secretly to know how honest he is with me, but he failed to do so. My mum showed all the recording and the pictures that they took to everyone. The reason behind telling all this publicly was that in the future Dave should not play with any other girl. After listening to all of this, I went onto the stage and hugged my mum. She is the true caretaker of mine, and I was feeling ashamed of her. I too confessed about what I felt for her and decided that I will never hide anything from her again. If you also have such experiences in the past, you can share it in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you like my story, and subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos in the future.
Hi, I am Jade, and I want to tell you a story of how one of the most important evenings of my life went terrible. This is Raquel, my boyfriend. We've been dating for the past 4 years, and everything was going great. A week ago, he told me that his parents wanted to meet me. As far as I knew, Raquel was very close to his parents, more than anyone else, including me. So I was very tensed and tried canceling the meeting by giving different excuses. I have fallen sick, met with a fake accident, and injured my leg. My aunt showed up for an unpredicted visit. After so many tricks, one evening I was relaxing in my hostel room, listening to my favorite songs on the iPod. And then the room doorbell rang. I opened the door and I was surprised to see Raquel. Raquel asked me to change my clothes quickly as he has planned for a romantic dinner. Woohoo! That was sweet of him. In no time, I went inside and came back from getting ready. We get into the car and he took me on a long drive. It was a romantic dinner. It should be full of surprises, so I hesitated to ask him anything. Finally, the car stopped. I thought we reached the destination, but I could not see any hotel. We got out of the car and I could only see the apartments. Then Raquel came close to me and said, "Let's go home. Romantic dinner is waiting for us." What? Romantic dinner at home? He lied! No, but he did do the same thing I had done so many days before. We walked together and reached the elevator. Raquel asked me to remember that his mom belongs to a very elegant, superior, and royal family, and his dad is a retired Navy officer. I was boiling with anger. I just wanted to forget that I'm standing outside his house and wanted to kill him. I used Google to search articles on the Navy so that I could connect with Raquel's father. But there was so much information available that I was just getting confused. We reached the door, and I was pissed off. I grabbed Raquel's neck with both of my hands and tried squeezing it. Right at that moment, the door opened, and his parents saw my cruel behavior. It was undoubtedly embarrassing that his parents saw me doing all that, but they tried to be polite, pretending they hadn't noticed anything. And yes, this was just the beginning. I entered the house, and the interior was remarkable. Royal furniture, beautiful chandeliers, expensive paintings, lavish curtains perfectly depicted the life of the royal family. I was so amazed, and I didn't know that Raquel was so rich. Raquel's mom invited me to sit at the table. She was very graceful and haughty, but that was fine for me. All the dishes on the table looked like they were served in a 5-star hotel. Food was served, and I was getting hungry. Without waiting for anyone, I started eating. Raquel's mom and dad were looking at me with their eyes goggling, but then Raquel giggled so loudly to make the situation pleasant. Finally, they joined him too, giggling, and started eating. I was busy eating delicious food, and in the middle of it, Raquel's father asked me about my plans. I stopped eating at that moment, drank a small amount of water before speaking anything, and burp. Yuck, that was my cheap etiquette. When I started talking, I felt so embarrassed that I couldn't control my weird behavior. Guessing by the look Raquel's parents were giving each other, I concluded that this was their first experience meeting such a weird girl like me, and so I decided to remain quiet. The conversation was quite uncomfortable. Eventually, after finishing my meal, I slowly and softly held the glass of water and started drinking. Now, I wasn't sure what bad luck I would face. That moment, another question arises from Raquel's mom. Do you know that Raquel is gay? What? Oh gosh, not again. I just puke all the water in my mouth on Raquel's mom. I am sorry. I am very sorry. I apologized to his mom, but that minute, Raquel is gay was the only thing going in my mind. I fume on Raquel. Are you gay? Raquel was scared enough looking at my aggressiveness, but then his father holds me and said, Raquel's mom was just pulling your leg. Oh my god, what is happening tonight? I was so humiliated and couldn't face her now. I took my purse and ran from the place. What's your story? True Tales wants to hear it. If you also have an embarrassing moment, you can share it in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked my story, and subscribe to this channel to watch more videos in the future.
Hi there, I'm Julie. When I was 16 years old, my dad installed a spy camera in my room. I was a bit of a troubled youth growing up, but I enjoyed sneaking out of my room on weekends to drive into the big city with my friends in order to go dancing. I loved salsa dancing specifically, and the nightlife scene was my thing, even though I was so young. With that being said, I went to sneak out my first floor window one summer night after putting on a slinky red dress and my eyes sparkling with glitter eyeshadow. It was salsa night at the city club. I heard my doorknob jiggle, and me, being halfway out of the window, I didn't know what to do. My dad opened the door fully, and I squeezed out the window. I heard him yell out at me, "Julie, get back here!" And I looked back to see his face red and hot with anger. But I didn't care. I was going to dance my heart out tonight. I'd waited all week for this. At the club, my best friend and dance partner, Rachel, met me. I told her everything, as I worried about whether I would be able to come next week, or if I would be grounded. She looked at me tearfully and said, "But Julie, we have the competition here next week. The grand prize is enough to pay for college tuition." I had completely forgotten about that. Oh no, we both needed that money. After practicing our dance tonight, I went back home to see my dad oddly calm in the living room. "Look, Dad, I'm sorry, but you don't understand," I began to say, but then he cut me off. "Save it, Julie. I don't have to hear it. Just go to bed." And so, off I went while he stayed in the living room. Eventually, dance competition day came, and I got dressed up, about to go out the window, and my dad burst in with his phone in hand, and I saw myself on the screen. "Where do you think you're going, young lady?" he questioned me. "Dad, I have to go. I have a dance competition tonight. That's where I've been sneaking off to," I pleaded, while beginning to get upset that I would miss this important night. Then a thought popped into my head. How did he know I was just about to leave? And I was on his phone. Was he spying on me? He smirked and then said, "It doesn't matter. You're not going anywhere." "Dad!" I yelled, and then continued, "Where is the stupid camera?" Then I looked at the outside of the window. A lock had been placed on it. It was useless. At this point, I was going to miss the dance competition. So I texted Rachel to apologize, and we had a forfeit since I wasn't there. My dad didn't understand nor care. So I went to bed that night sick to my stomach after missing one of the most important events of my life due to my dad's spyware. Still, to this day, I haven't found out where the camera is, but it doesn't matter anymore. I'm 18 now and will hopefully be leaving this controlling home soon. What's your story? True Tales wants to hear it. If you also have any such moment, you can share it in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked my story. Subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos and press the bell icon for more updates.